Yeah, thanks for clapping now. You won't be clapping later. Yeah, well, welcome to the 32nd Annual St. Paul's Music Festival. Again, I'm John Robinson. I'll be serving as Master of Ceremonies. Again, Ellen asked 6 other people. Said no. Come on, people, step up. I know a lot of you are surprised that I'm back here again after last year's performance, but as I mentioned last year, I went online. Our former MC used to be #1 on the Funniest Lutherans website, and so I figured this year I had to crack the top 500, but I didn't. And it probably won't happen next year either. You know, last year I told you too that I had a terrible time remembering jokes. I could never remember jokes at all. And I relied on Steve Modlin to give me the only joke he could remember. Remember, it was the best joke ever about the bartender throws the snail across the street, comes back in 2 weeks later, says, "Why did you do that?" So I said, I can go back to that well. Steve Modlin has to have more material. He didn't. He tried. But nothing was that good. Yeah. So I was talking to my son Zach about this, and I said, I was really nervous that I don't have any material. I used all my best material last year. I have nothing for this year. And he goes, well, you know, be careful, Dad, because remember coral that lives in the ocean, when it gets stressed, it dies. And I said, you know, what does coral have to get stressed out about? Current events? As good as a snail. So my son lives down in Lockport. It's a small town down there in Joliet, and he called me the other day and he said they just opened a zoo down there. And so he went to the zoo, and there was only one animal there, and it was a dog. He said it was a Shih Tzu. This past couple months we've seen Stephen Wright and Michael McDonald and some great shows. But a few years ago, if you remember, you could buy a membership and get plays and go see plays there. And you could pick 3 plays a year. And so we did that with another couple. And one of the shows we saw was Cats. I mean, what a horrible show. I mean, I don't know, I hope I'm not stepping on toes, but Cats, it was terrible. And so, thank God, at intermission, you could go to the bar. And so, we ran into the bar at intermission down at the Genesee. And you know how they blink the lights to say it's time to go back to your seats. So, Debbie and Kim said, okay, come on guys, let's go back to the seats. And Rick and I said, yeah, we're right behind you. And I ordered another beer. So when we got back, they wouldn't let us in our seats. So this is true story. So we had to sit in the back of the Genesee Theater. And if you remember Cats, after the intermission, the Cats come running through the audience, and they're knocking us on the shoulder, and we're you know, pretty liquored up. It's terrified with these Cats. So what I promise you is today's show is going to be way better than Cats. And it has to be because the bar's not open. Okay, so I don't know a better way to open this year's festival than with some inspirational songs from June Campbell. June's going to sing a melody of songs of strength. It's going to include America the Beautiful, the Navy Hymn, and On Eagle's Wings. America the Beautiful may be America's most patriotic song. It was a poem from Catherine Bates written in 1885. Music was composed by a church organist, Sammy Ward, in 1910. There have been efforts to make this song our legal hymn, or actually replace the Star Spangled Banner with this song. Mostly during the Kennedy administration, this was a big push. Mostly because half the people that sing the Star Spangled Banner really massacred. So it would have been a good idea. The Navy hymn is associated with seafarers, and particularly in times of war. It was written in 1860. It was inspired by the dangers of the sea described in Psalm 107. So you can follow the Bible in front of you, Psalm 107. And On Eagle's Wings is really interesting. It's a devotional song written by Father Michael Joncas in 1976. I thought it was a much older song than that, inspired by Psalm 91 and Isaiah 40. And so it was actually written in 1976 for one of his classmates' father's funeral. So I welcome Gina Campbell.